Hi everybody, welcome to Kobe's Kitchen. Today we're talking soup, and I'm not talking just any soup. I'm talking my amazing, big in flavor, low in calorie, ginger infused carrot soup with rosemary. It's absolutely phenomenal, you guys. You're gonna love it. The main thing I love about it is it's so versatile. It's my go-to soup for any dinner party, luncheon, or anything like that. And it's also my go-to soup when I just wanna make something for myself to have it like that 3 o'clock afternoon when I get a little hungry and I want to eat something. It's so low in calories. It's perfect to have in the refrigerator so you can just grab it whenever you want. So it's just an all-around amazing soup. All right, so let's get to it. First, I want to talk about the carrots. When you're picking out your carrots, it's really nice if you purchase the carrots with the tops on, the beautiful green leafy part here, because when you purchase your carrots this way, the carrots are only no more than about 3 weeks old, because the minute the leafy top part starts getting wilted and looking weathered, that's when it's been a little more than 3 weeks. So the grocery stores only keep it for about 3 weeks in the store this way. When you buy the carrots in a bag, those carrots have been in the bag for up to 6 months. So what happens is you don't have as much flavor. So when you purchase your carrots for something where the carrot's really gonna be the star, you might as well go ahead and get your carrots with the tops on, because you're gonna have a richer, deeper carrot flavor, all right? So now let's go to the onion. So far what I've done is I've just taken one brown onion and I've sliced the top and the bottom off, all right? Now I'm just gonna peel it, get the skin off like this, and then we're gonna slice it. Everything with this soup, you want it to be sliced really thin so it cooks well. So we're just gonna slice it really thin like this. Real simple. And just be careful as you get down to the end. You don't wanna cut yourself. And I just sharpened my knife, so I need to be extra special. Pay extra attention right now. So just slice real thin. And then that's it, okay? And now let me show you what you're gonna do with your ginger. So you have one brown onion in here, and then we also have our ginger. Now you want just a 1-inch knob for the ginger, and we're using fresh ginger here. It really does make a difference, so get your fresh ginger. And then just take your big knife, and you're just gonna peel it with your knife, just like this. Just cut around it, real simple. It's not a big deal, all right? And then once you're finished with that, same thing, we're just gonna cut it really thin. So just take your knife, watch your thumb, and just slice it nice and thin. All right, now what you're gonna do is the onion and the ginger is gonna go into your pot with about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You're gonna just dump all that in, give it a stir, put the lid on, and then you wanna keep the temperature medium to low temperature. And it's gonna take about 12 minutes to get your onions translucent. Now I wanna show you, I've already done that for us. So I'll show you, I have it in the pot here. You don't wanna get it brown, you just wanna get them translucent. So you can see, it just becomes very wilted and you can see light through it, okay? That's what you're looking for, that's what we're going for here. Now, let me show you what we're gonna do with our carrots. The carrots, you want to cut them really thin as well. So you're just going to cut the tops off your carrots and the bottom, peel them, and then just slice them up. And then again, you just want to slice them really thin. Take your time. You don't want to cut yourself. Just line them up and slice them up. As you get down to the ends, be really careful. Watch your fingers, okay? We don't need any fingers in our soup. And then the same thing with, I'll do one last carrot here. Now when you get to the end, and if you have a big carrot like this, kind of thicker, just take your knife and slice it right down the center like that. Cut it in half, okay? And then I'll show you what we're gonna do. Let me slice that. We're just gonna take it, line them up, and then just slice these into half circles so it's nice and thin. Because what's key to this soup is making sure that everything, all the ingredients are sliced really thin so it cooks fast, okay? Because we're gonna have to blend it up later. So let me turn my pan back on. And then what we're gonna do is just add all of our carrots right into the pot. with our translucent onions that we cook for about 12 minutes. That's what it takes. Let me get this. I always use my little pastry brush here. It helps so much to just gather things up and put everything in. All right. Then after that's in, we want to put in 4 cups of chicken broth. All right. So just add your 4 cups right in. And then a sprig of our rosemary. Just drop it right in. And then we want to finish it off with 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now you do have the option here if you'd like to use a sugar substitute. That's perfectly acceptable, okay? I'm just using this sugar today. But you can use sugar substitute. It cuts down on the calories, but it's only 2 tablespoons in a whole thing of soup. Now you're just gonna stir it, and then you're just gonna let it sit. We don't put the lid back on at this point. You just leave it like this. What you're gonna wanna do is turn the temperature up in the beginning to get it to a simmer, all right? So let me turn my temperature up just a little bit more here. And then once I get it to a nice simmer, I'm gonna lower my temperature just so I can keep a simmer. We don't want it to boil. We wanna just keep it to a nice simmer. And that's gonna probably take about 20 to 25 minutes, anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes, depending on the thickness of your carrots, all right? Another thing I'd like to share with you guys is about the onions. You don't want your onions to brown when you're bringing them up to translucent. It's real important you keep your eye on the onions. Never turn your back on your onions when you're bringing them to, trying to get them translucent. If they brown or scorch, they can brown and scorch very easily. And you don't want that because it can actually change the color of your soup as well. All right? So now I just put this on. I'm gonna watch it for about 20-25 minutes, and then I'll come back and show you guys how I use my immersion blender, okay? Bye, see you in about 25. Hi you guys, welcome back. All right, our soup has been cooking for about 20-25 minutes, and I've taken it off the heat here, getting it ready for us. Let me show you how I know when it's ready. All I do is I just take one of the carrots, put it on the spoon, and I take a knife and I just poke at it. And when the knife goes in really smoothly and easily, then I know the soup's done, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take our tongs and we're gonna just take out our rosemary. So just pick the rosemary right out and we'll just discard it, okay? We're just infusing it with some rosemary. And then I just grab all the little rosemary flakes that have fallen off. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and get started with our immersion blender. Now, you have a couple options right now. One is you can actually take the soup and put it in a traditional blender and blend it up that way. I like to use my immersion blender. It's this KitchenAid immersion blender, and I just love it. It's absolutely fantastic. It has this really long neck. It fits in a lot of different sizes of pans, and it has 2 speeds. I use it on the high speed. You just stick it in, turn it on. And then in the beginning, I just pick it up and push it down, just like that. And then you can just turn it on, and it just goes. So I can blend the whole soup, just turning it around like this, right here in the pan. I don't have to do anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop, because that takes about 5 to 7 minutes, all right? So let me show you. I've already had some soup made for us, and so I've already plated it in this beautiful little cup. These cups, you guys, my husband gave me these on our first Thanksgiving, actually, that we were married. Now, how I like to finish it off is I just take a little teaspoon and some sour cream, and I just dip in here and get a nice dollop, and then I just flip it over and give it a little help. And it's really pretty. Just have a nice dollop on top, and then a couple pepitas right here. Just sprinkle it on top like that, and you have a gorgeous soup. Can you guys see? It's absolutely beautiful. I'll take a little test. I love it with the sour cream. You guys, it's just such a nice, refreshing soup. It's actually perfect any time of year. Even in the summer, I love this soup because it's so refreshing and light. And that's also another thing I like about it a lot. For a luncheon, you don't get filled up on it at the beginning of the lunch, so you can enjoy everything else you're serving. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you spending time with me in Kobe's Kitchen. Bye, everybody. See you next time.